You think you make logical decisions with your money. The data suggests otherwise. Let's run the numbers. Financial education fails. We tell people to save. They nod. They understand. Then they don't. The problem isn't knowledge, it's friction. Every step required to save is a barrier to saving. The alternative is not willpower, it's choice architecture. Make saving the default. When saving is the default, most people stay with it. When spending is the default, most people stay with that. This is the power of the default. It's not manipulation, it's physics applied to choice. Start with the problem. Most employees do not save enough for retirement. Despite decades of financial education campaigns, retirement savings rates remain stubbornly low. Telling people to save is not enough. Motivation is not enough. Education is not enough. The barrier is friction. The solution is to eliminate friction by changing what requires zero effort. Here's the mechanism. A default is the choice that happens if you do nothing. If the default is save, then doing nothing results in savings. If the default is spend, then doing nothing results in spending. The choice architecture works because inertia is real. People don't actively choose their default, they drift into it. Thaler and Benartzi called this the Save More Tomorrow program. Employees commit in advance to saving a portion of future raises. The magic, most employees stayed with the commitment. They didn't opt out. The initial result, savings rates jumped from 3.5% to 13.6% over 40 months. This was not because employees suddenly became more disciplined, it was because the default changed. The Madrian and Shea research took this further. They studied 401k enrollment. Before automatic enrollment, approximately 50% of eligible employees participated in 401k plans. After automatic enrollment was implemented, participation rates jumped to approximately 90%. The only change was the default. Opting in became opting out. Everything else was identical. The data showed that most people who would have chosen not to enroll actually preferred to enroll. They just never got around to it. Approximately 75% of participants hired under automatic enrollment contributed at the default rate. This was not the outcome of careful analysis. It was inertia. Most people kept the default. Now here's the mechanism. Why does the default matter so much? First, the default is the choice that happens if you do nothing. Doing nothing is the easiest thing to do. Second, changing from the default requires active choice. Active choice requires cognitive effort and decision friction. Third, most people procrastinate on financial paperwork. The default avoids procrastination by eliminating the need to act. Fourth, loss aversion applies. Changing the default feels like a loss even when the change is beneficial. Together, these factors mean the default is incredibly sticky. It's the path of least resistance. The implication: choice architecture is not manipulation, it's engineering decision environments. Defaults matter because they leverage how humans actually work, not how economists theorize they work. The boundary: choice architecture is not coercion. It preserves choice. It just changes the default. Some employees will always opt out of retirement savings. That's fine. The default just makes saving the path of least resistance for everyone else. The research shows most people who are offered the choice prefer to save. They just never get around to it without the default. Now the boundary. Can a default be misused? Absolutely. A default set to maximize corporate profit at the expense of employee outcomes is paternalism, not nudge design. The ethical default preserves meaningful choice while guiding toward the better option. The test: can the employee easily change the default if they prefer? If not, it's coercion disguised as nudge. A real automatic enrollment default lets employees opt out with one click. That's the ethical bar. When opt-out is easy, the default becomes transparent. It's guiding, not controlling. The resolution: defaults work best when they align with what people would choose for themselves if they had perfect information and unlimited time. Most people, given time and complete information, would choose to save for retirement. They just don't have time. They procrastinate. They get overwhelmed by choices. The default fills that gap. It gives them the choice they would make if they had time. The advantage: it respects human reality instead of fighting it. Application point: defaults matter for retirement. They also matter for health insurance, vacation time, investment options, and any financial decision where inertia dominates. The evidence is consistent. Change the default, change the outcome. The implication for your own decisions: what defaults are controlling your financial behavior right now? Your bank account default, your investment algorithm, your savings account transfer? These defaults are making your financial decisions for you. The question isn't whether defaults control you, it's whether the defaults controlling you are intentional and aligned with your actual goals. Here's what to do. Audit your financial defaults. Write them down. Your payroll deduction for retirement. Is that default helping or hurting? Your automatic transfer to savings, does the default amount match your goals? Your investment account default allocation, is it invested aggressively when you could risk it or conservatively when you should be growing wealth? The intervention, identify defaults that aren't working and change them deliberately. Better yet, set new defaults that work for you. Make the defaults do the work. Example, your retirement account's default allocation. If it's too conservative, change it. Your future self will thank you without having to consciously decide every quarter. The default does the work. You set it once, then inertia works in your favor instead of against you. This is how you engineer retirement savings. Not through willpower, not through discipline, through design. Don't fight your brain. Engineer your environment. See you next time.